White woman found guilty of manslaughter with a firearm for fatally shooting black neighbor amid dispute over kids playing. Susan Lawrence. Let me tell you the backstory a little bit. Susan Lawrence is like so many Americans, let's just say legacy Americans, who will complain about children not going outside playing, but the moment that they do, that's when they want to call the police on them, and then that's when they want to be aggressive towards them. So it's a very, very weird thing that happens in this country. We will have people who will constantly point out children don't go outside and play, children are overweight, children have these weight problems, and yet for some reason when the children go out and play, you'll have Karens like Susan Lawrence here, right? Susan, who will then turn around and weaponize the police, weaponize stand your ground laws, weaponize all kinds of special exceptions. They'll weaponize anything against a black child, so long as they think they can justify it. So long as they think they can justify it, and given the nature of this country, they can always justify it. But this time, this woman went too far. A Florida jury on Friday found a 60-year-old white woman guilty of manslaughter with a firearm for fatally shooting an unarmed black mother during an ongoing dispute over children playing near her home. The panel had considered whether Susan Lawrence was justified under the state's controversial self-defense laws for shooting through the front door of her Central Florida home. And last June, she took the life of 35-year-old Ajiki A.J. Owens, who had been knocking on Lawrence's door. The trial tested the state's stand your ground law, which allows people to use deadly force in self-defense in certain situations. Lawrence was charged with manslaughter with a firearm and pleaded not guilty. See, I wanna get into that, man. How you doing, Imhotep Sankofa? How you doing? They will try to go as far as we let them. Yeah, agreed. They will go as far as we let them. But I want to see this here, right? She pleaded not guilty. She shot someone who she knew had children. She's 60 years old. She's already lived her life. This young mother had children, and she didn't even consider that. She just opened fire. And she had the nerve to plead not guilty, meaning she doesn't even have remorse. If you don't even have remorse, even if you had to fire in self-defense, even if it were a legitimate claim of self-defense, you still feel some kind of remorse. That was still someone's mother, right? But I guarantee you, she feels nothing. She felt nothing. This whole thing started about children playing. Does she really strike you as someone who feels anything that even approaches compassion? Look at that face. Is that the face of a woman who feels compassion? Is that the face of a woman that you think that when she goes to prison, right? Is that the face of a woman who's going to feel worse about children not having their mother? Or she's going to feel bad about being locked up? Which one do you think it is? It's not going to be both. I guarantee you that. Which one do you think it is? She faces up to 30 years in prison, according to State Attorney Bill Glasson's office. No sentencing date has been set. I want to get into this next part here, man. Lawrence, wearing a purple sweater over a dark dress, stood and showed no emotion as the verdict was read and the jury polled. Friends and family members of the victims wept in the front row. Now, I want you to understand, I picked this article out at random before I started, but I didn't even read this. I didn't even watch the video where she was being, the whole, trial. I knew she felt no remorse. There was no point in me even watching the trial, because the only point in me watching it to see if she was going to be found guilty or innocent, and to see how much time she's going to get, which is why I'm covering it now. She's guilty. Right off top. I knew that from the start, but I wanted to see if the jury was going to find her guilty. And you notice how I just said this woman has no remorse? I just said that without even reading this article. And the very next thing, I just noticed it. That's why I said I want to get into this next part here. It appears like she has no freaking emotion. I told you. White supremacy is alive and well in this country, man. And people can sit here and deny it all you want to. But the reality is, people like Susan Lawrence, man, they show you the truth of the matter. Don't they? Don't they, man? It's just, I want to understand what was going through her mind. How would you justify shooting a mother who you think is going to hurt you, but she didn't have any weapons? I mean, even if someone's coming to your door, there's a lot of reasons why they would do that. Fire, could be a flood. I mean, of course, you might have known it was a freaking flood. It could have been other gunmen in the neighborhood. It might have been running to your home for help. Now, there could have been an argument, sure. But the mere fact that someone's running towards your home, you don't just open fire then. They have to be doing something else, like breaking into your home, like actively breaking into your home in order for you to do that. See? That wasn't happening here. That wasn't happening here. And we can all celebrate that this woman has been found guilty. And she's facing 30 years, which means she's probably going to pass away in prison if she gets if she gets much of that time. But a mother is still gone. A family is still destroyed. Children will grow up without their mom, man. So while we're celebrating, let's also remember that, man. This is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's bittersweet. I remember covering this case the first time it happened. And I just thought to myself, this woman's going to get away with this. It's going to be another Trayvon Martin. Except this time it's a black mama. I am at least relieved that she's been found guilty. But we should not celebrate yet, because we don't know what she's gonna be sentenced to, because it could just be like 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. Let's not celebrate yet. Let's keep the pressure on. It was pressure from you that brought these charges. It was pressure from the public. Y'all stumped down hard in the grassroots. Y'all did. So now it's time to keep the pressure on. We want the full 30 years. I want her to be 90 years old before she even thinks about getting out. And by that time, she'll probably be long gone.
I'm a B-C-A-B, don't you step through M-E. I'm going to shut down towns and turn them upside down with some of young monsters like stranger things in the upside down. No surrender, retreat. Certified soldier, got receipts. You can't walk with my feet. I pack nothing but steel for the heat. I'm not soft, I'm elite. Play my anthem on repeat. Now sing it with me. B-C-A-B. Hating is just weak. Get off my meat. Go take this lane. It's just how I was raised. Black power, temperature raised. Beautiful yet bloody days. That's why I can't be tamed. None of it was ever